Hi, it's Jeff.
And Denise from Mousesteps.com.
And this is episode number 520.
520.
Of Mousesteps Weekly.
Sponsored by MEI Travel and Mouse Fan Travel. Today we're talking about Disneyland again, Disneyland Halloween. There is still plenty of time to book a trip for Disneyland to experience it for yourself. Not Oogie Boogie Bash because that's sold out. Head to MEI Travel and Mouse Fan Travel online to make a reservation.
Yeah, and they'll give you a no obligation quote. Also, if you're looking for a cruise, there's a lot of cruises coming up this year.
Halloween on the high seas.
That's right.
And
our
of
good
course,
friend is on that cruise right now.
That is true, Martin Smith. And of course, the Disney Treasure is sailing starting December, and then the Disney Destiny next year, I believe, in November.
Very exciting. Lots to look forward to. And now we're going to talk about Halloween Time at Disneyland Resort.
And we're starting off with some official B-roll, but we're also going to be showing, in a second, Haunted Mansion Holiday and a little of our own video here.
There it is.
Of the gingerbread display. Every year, the Haunted Mansion Holiday has a different gingerbread display, and you can smell it as you go through. And Dr. Finkelstein has brought his own gigantic gingerbread zombie, Little Frankie, to life. And that is what is happening here. But I love Haunted Mansion Holiday.
Yeah, we probably enjoyed that attraction more than anything else this year. Many times we were able to do it.
But only once per day because it's on a virtual queue.
Right.
Just this year. And there is Jack and Sally. They meet not too far away. But we're looking at other areas of the park as well. We love Halloween at Disneyland. There is so much to see here in both parks. And you don't need an Oogie Boogie Bash ticket to enjoy Halloween.
Including the fireworks, the special Halloween fireworks.
Halloween Screams.
That's right.
So that happens on select nights. And it includes music like Pink Elephants on Parade and Cruella de Vil. And outside of the park here in the Esplanade area.
This is bright and early on our very first day.
I was there,
yes. This great footage, and you could see Mickey has his Halloween mask on in the floral display in front of the park.
And I really enjoyed being here. Like, this was our first morning, and I got up really early and came here and was looking to see the new costumes on the characters.
I see a Tic-A-Tac there.
Tic-A-Tac.
Yeah, that's right. And their new Chip and Dale, of course, in their new outfits. I never even saw them meeting and greeting. They must be very early starting.
And they do. The characters start early. And also, I just want to mention, if you buy merchandise, really any of the Disney parks, if you're buying merchandise, you're going to see a lot of their costumes that are created for Disneyland each year for Halloween and Christmas are that's what the Halloween merchandise is as well. A lot of that.
Yeah, I love that. I learned that a couple years ago from you, and it's very interesting to see, on all the merch.
Right, like Mickey has his
even here at Walt Disney World.
Yeah. So here is Clarabelle Cow. You can see she had showed me also that she has that. Instead of a cowbell, it's an ear of corn. And
That's perfect.
And really, when I mention their Halloween outfits, they're really very autumn.
I was just going to say, very much like Disneyland Paris.
Yes, Disneyland Paris is all about the harvest, the autumn, less about Halloween in particular, and here as well with their outfits, certainly much more of that autumnal vibe to it.
Although it doesn't really feel like autumn currently at Disneyland Resort. It's been in the hundreds in the last week, so it's been very hot. We left just at the right time.
I don't think today, here she is showing the corn, I don't think today that it's going to be as hot, but they had, I think, almost a week of really hot temperatures. When we go to Disneyland Paris, I'm looking forward to that weather. So here is Donald. I'm not sure exactly what he's supposed to be. He has sort of like, you got the moon.
He's very colorful.
Yes. And
he's like a sorcerer almost there.
And that's more what I was thinking, but I wasn't sure. And he's got a little pumpkin there on his collar. I'm not sure.
They all like to do a little shake, shake
yes.
there.
And so he was
I
think
really he's a sorcerer. All that movement he's doing with his fingers and everything. I think he is a autumn Halloween sorcerer. That's what I'll say he is.
An autumn. I liked when they used to go onto the train station and, in the early morning, and they would, dance around, and especially if you have the band and such up there, was always a lot of fun. But mostly they come out and actually do meet and greets now. And here is Daisy. Again, you got that really autumn colors, the oranges, the the yellow and such, and
They're
a
beautiful,
lot of purple
beautiful
as well.
outfits this year.
Yeah, and they really do a very nice job with the design. And so she was showing me her costume. The characters do not tend to meet together except for Chip and Dale. So they generally are apart. But, it's really nice because they're out pretty much all day.
Right, and even into the night. The only exception to that would be Chip and Dale and Clarabelle seem to be mostly morning meet and greet characters, but everyone else had a schedule going into evening.
And I remember toward the late afternoon, we saw some of the Disney villains out here more too. We saw the Queen of Hearts, so you had her
and we'll be talking
and Goofy
about that. We'll be
and
talking
so many
about
others.
That.
So here is Mickey, and he has like a skeleton outfit. And again, if you look at the Disney Parks merchandise, you're going to see him often currently in his Halloween skeleton costume. And he also has a hidden heart that I asked to see
Yes,
because
we're going to see his
I had
hidden
already
hearts.
seen it when he was showing it to some cast members a day or two earlier.
Yeah, you had discovered that on the very first day, the
That
first
was
morning
so
that you were
funny.
there. His little hidden
Hidden
heart,
heart, yes.
we'll call it, his hidden heart.
But he has, really a fun outfit. And I like that they go with something new every year. And I'm sure, I don't think it's too long before. And I had told Jeff, I'm like, I don't know if we should ask. And then I asked.
Or you just asked him, and see, he's acting kind of shy. He's a little shy to show you. There it is. There's his heart.
Just on his pocket. But it's so funny because, and I know Jeff's going to show it now, the way I saw it the first time, he was kind of showing it off to cast members.
Yeah, you didn't
and
know
to
what was
guests.
going on.
No, I was just, I really enjoyed just sort of hanging out and seeing the interactions with the characters even more than meeting them. I just think it's really fun.
And he is showing the cast members his hidden heart.
That was
there.
the first morning I was there, and I'm like, what's going on? I was like, what's going on? And, it's just to watch.
Fun. So much fun.
It is
they all
fun.
are a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I thoroughly enjoy it. Goofy for years used to have that skeleton outfit, so it's nice that Mickey gets to go with that,
Same
look.
type of look. So here is Minnie. This is her costume. A lot of green, orange, purple. You got the striped stockings, which she's had certainly before. And I'm glad she's not a witch because they really put her in witch outfits like all the time.
Right. It's good for her to break it up a little bit.
Yeah, it's nice to see her in something a little bit different.
Yeah, I thought Minnie also, they all look great. And there's many times throughout the day you could see them on the cavalcade, and also they do the march down Main Street and do a little performance. I'm not
Right.
showing that because we're showing all these
And
characters
I did not see the march this year.
And we'll link to the march.
Right.
of
If we
course.
go back, I'll see it for this season. And
I love
here is
this.
Pluto. He's got like a little
Pumpkin hat.
on his.
I love his pumpkin hat.
And also, I think does he have a little pumpkin that says Pluto? Yep.
Yes, he
on his
does.
collar. I don't know if I met. Did I meet Pluto too?
I think
don't
you
remember.
did, but no, maybe.
I may not have actually met him. I saw him, but I don't know if I met him. But he was he's
He's doing some great Halloween poses. That's all I know. And I have to admit, we did some divide and conquer because I never got to meet myself, Chip and Dale or Clarabelle.
No, it's good that I went early and then you were on your own at some points too. And here is Goofy, who looks sort of like a scarecrow.
Yeah, I believe he's a scarecrow. He does his scarecrow look there.
And he's got like the hat and again the autumn look
I like
to him.
the backdrop here. Other characters also meet in front of this backdrop, but it's perfect.
I think most of the characters do sometimes meet behind this, with this backdrop
Right.
behind them. And they kind of seem to, at least some of them, they're able to say where they want to go of the available spaces. Here is, I mentioned the Queen of
Now
Hearts.
we're jumping to afternoon. We went from morning till afternoon. Here comes the Queen of Hearts making her entrance.
And I thought this was really a great time, not for lighting, but for like the meeting and everything, because you had you had different characters. You had the villains and the other, like the Mickey, Minnie, and such. So this is the Mickey and Friends Halloween Cavalcade. It happens twice per day, and I believe that was 1:45 and 2:45. So you can
right.
watch both of those within a very short period of time. It looks really busy here. It was not that busy most of the time that we watched it.
And just so you know, the first one usually comes down Main Street from the castle towards Town Square, and then the second one goes the other direction, ending up in Small World Mall.
And everything we're talking about today is for day guests.
Right.
This
all
is not
included, no special ticket needed.
We already did the Oogie Boogie Bash show. This is for everybody, which is very cool. They do not have the Magic Happens parade right now. So this is essentially your parade. It's a cavalcade. But I guess really seem to love it. And you have not only, we'll call them the VIP characters, Mickey, Minnie, Chip and Dale, and everyone. And some of the times they change their locations. You also have, we'll just call them the heroes. You have the Peter Pan. There's Queen of Hearts, so I wouldn't call her the hero. But, you have Alice. And you have Queen of Hearts here. I don't know what the Queen of Hearts is doing right here because, the villains are behind the omnibus.
I think she's infiltrating all the good guys.
That's what it feels like. The characters can and do change, and they change where they're located. So you never know exactly everybody you're going to see.
And depending on what side of the road, you'll see different princesses. You could see...
We have Ariel, the live action Ariel, who was not in it except for one or two times that I saw. So here we have Gaston, we have Lady Tremaine and the Evil Stepsisters, and Maleficent and Evil Queen, and then we'll have Cruella as well.
Well, really nice. And I like the fact that they have it twice within an hour. It's really very limited effort to see it. You don't have to wait a long time. You can wait 5 minutes and get a perfect view, depending on where you are.
And it might depend on how busy it is, of course, for the day. But every day we were there, we didn't have to wait too long. And here is...
Now we're jumping to Small World Mall because I'm showing the other side of the omnibus and the different princesses. But what I like about this particular location...
Geppetto.
And Geppetto.
And Pinocchio.
And they're trick-or-treating. They have their little jack-o'-lanterns there. But what I like about this location, this is the end of the cavalcade, and they sometimes will do a little wave goodbye as the door is shutting, and I wanted to show that. I think it's a really nice little bonus that you get on both sides at the end of the cavalcade.
And this was where I had wanted to go the first day. We didn't. I really wanted to see if they did anything at the end. I actually like to be at the end of parade routes.
We learned that from Disneyland Paris. They often do those goodbye numbers at Disneyland Paris, but they're doing it more now at Disneyland Anaheim.
But I also like when they first come out of the gate. That's something that I've been doing for years and years and years. So here, it was really fun to watch them because it looks like they're going to go away, and they don't totally go away.
Yeah, it was, you're right. It was very fun. And this is different every time. It's not always, it's not the same choreographed. You're not sure who's going to come out and wave goodbye, and I've seen various different versions of this, but this was my favorite. I think this was the best one of our trip, and we probably saw this about 6 or 7 times.
What? Did you? Okay, I only saw it once or twice, but it was really...
Well, I meant the cavalcade.
Oh, the cavalcade.
I only saw the ending 3 times, the 3 different endings.
I saw the cavalcade a lot. I feel like I saw it a lot. And here is Maleficent. She's going to be meeting up with the Evil Queen. And you never know also exactly what's going to happen here with the characters. It's every day it's different. But right now, you can see Maleficent, Evil Queen. You saw Sleeping Beauty and Snow White.
And this happens in the late afternoon. This, I believe, they come out around 4:30, maybe it's 4:50, and then again at 5:50, and then at 6, something like that. Look at the schedule.
You have to look at the app to find it out.
But and you don't know where they're going to go. They can go totally different places. We did this. I did this 3 or 4 different days, and it was completely different location every time.
And it isn't like Maleficent and Evil Queen are always getting together. You might only see Maleficent. She might be doing a regular meet and greet, or she can be roaming. And then Evil Queen also is roaming when I saw her. Right,
exactly as you said. I met them both separately as meet and greets, but in this case they were roaming, and I thought it was great where Maleficent tracks down Aurora, and they got to kind of interact together, which was really fun. And then of course the Evil Queen found Snow White, and she was running after Snow White. I wish I could have got the beginning, but she was running so fast through the castle. She was like, I know Snow White, I just saw her here. And then this whole thing was just a spontaneous, really fun interaction, and every day the villains do this kind of thing, at least when we were there, and it was great.
And this part to me is like live theater, because you just don't know what you're going to get, and they're so fantastic at what they do.
Right, it involves the crowd. I mean, because what the guests say and what they're saying, it's all, all just being made up at the spur of the moment, so it's a lot of fun. Improv.
Yes,
total improv.
They're fantastic, really. And so I was not here for this, but I saw Maleficent Evil Queen the next day.
After all that fun, it's time for chicken at the Plaza Inn.
Plaza Inn is so well known. We're just showing our food. For the fried chicken, that's kind of the star of the show here. They have other items. And then we also ordered the poison apple cake. But first we're looking, I think we got 2 big pieces.
So we were able to
meat.
ask for all white meat, which was great for splitting because it's a larger amount. I think they may have charged me a few dollars extra for this. And then with the dessert, this cake.
The poison apple cake is for the season. It's a red cinnamon cake with cream cheese, caramelized apple filling, the red cream cheese frosting, and more. I thought it was very nice. Not too overdone. Like, you know, if you're thinking this cinnamon cake, I thought it was just right.
And you know, we actually couldn't even finish this meal. We ended up taking some of the chicken home. And this is for one. Can you imagine trying to eat all this? And the 2 of us split this.
It's
and
a
we
lot.
still had a good amount home. We had a refrigerator in our hotel. We were able to try it again. Now it's time to talk about the Bengal barbecue.
And we didn't order anything Halloween related here, but it has become a new favorite of ours. Even
Yeah.
after all these long years of going to Disneyland, we never really went here. But the skewers are really delicious, and we really like the meat and the vegetable skewers. Like if you get a meat skewer and then a vegetable skewer, it's kind of perfect, you know,
the
and
2
a little
vegetables,
healthier.
the 2 meats, and we split everything. And it's a great lunch, and it's relatively inexpensive. I think this all comes to about $25.
And I used to not get it because I felt like it was expensive, but I think it's a really good meal. And also, this is the chocolate chip cookies at the Harbor Galley. Something we had never gotten before, but they're really warm and just
Delicious.
really delicious, freshly baked cookies. We did get them during D23 for the first time that week.
So a lot to see and do at Disneyland Park for Halloween time. We didn't even touch on everything, but now we're going to go across the street to Disney California Adventure. Last week we talked about the Oogie Boogie Bash, but this week we're going to show you everything that's included in a regular Halloween time day for day guests.
I love both parks for Halloween, and really, you know, they each have their own atmosphere and vibe to them. Right now we're just looking at Cars Land.
Little B-roll here.
Right. We're just showing an overview of what it looks like.
Monsters After Dark. This is something we
love
didn't
that.
take any video of. They don't allow that, but it is a awesome overlay to the Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. No. I'm thinking of Disneyland.
Not Cosmic Rewind.
No.
Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout.
Mission Breakout. How could I forget? Oh, and now
we're in Cars Land, but you can do Mission Breakout and Monsters After Dark in the same day. Now we're looking, this is Vampire Mater. Mater is one of the several Cars characters who's dressed up for, you know, Halloween. They've got their Cars costume on. I know Red the Fire Truck came out. He is a clown. But we did not see him when we were there.
Right. And I only saw
we saw Cruz
Lightning McQueen once, and we did see Cruz.
Right. So this is like a spider car, and you were
it
like,
looks to me like
repurposed.
The origin of the spider car looks to be a Mr. Toad vehicle to me.
And I hadn't even thought about it, but now I see that, you know, looking to the side. So we are looking at Mater's Graveyard Jamboree.
Jamboree.
And this is so fun to me. It's one of, I guess, 3 attractions in the park that are overlays. Mm-hmm. 2 of them are in Cars Land. And so they do, you know, music that is more Halloween, you know, related.
Yeah, really nice, different Halloween kind of music, all sung by Mater, of course.
Including Grim Grinning Ghost.
Yes.
But
we haven't
not
heard
always.
that in a while.
No, we've not heard that one in a while because they have a number of different songs, just like going on to Cosmic Rewind, Guardians of the Galaxy,
right.
Cosmic Rewind here at Epcot. You know, you have a number of different song choices that you may get.
So we're just looking at this. Really, the whole land, the whole Cars Land is decked out for Halloween. They do a great job day and especially at night. Now we're going to see Luigi's Hunkin' Halloween, and another one of my favorites. I actually rope dropped this thing first thing in the morning. It was a walk-on. It says 5 minutes, but it was really 0 minutes. So it was really nice to be able to take advantage of that. Everybody was going on racers, so it was a perfect time for Luigi.
And you did racers also, right?
Twice.
On
That's
single
the
rider.
Ride. It was like an hour wait otherwise. So single rider really pays off. What I like about this, I like how they have these Halloween pumpkins kind of made
Like
out
tires.
of tires. A really kind of cool little display. So they even do a little area inside the queue of the attraction.
I mean, they really go all out for the holidays. And I was just thinking that Cars characters, we have a video from a number of years ago of all the Cars characters. It's got millions of views. So if you really want to see all the Cars characters in costume.
You'll have to link to that.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we are just looking at the,
So,
it's...
all right, I'm showing it from not inside the car, and this is, now I'm about to show the spin from the car, and every single ride you do ends with a spin like this. And you can get, I did this twice in a row, you get a little dizzy. Just a little dizzy. Especially if you do this, Mater's and the Radiator Springs Racers all back to back, and then a roller coaster, you do get a tiny bit dizzy.
And now we're looking, this is a newer Coco show. They call it the Storytellers of Plaza de la Familia Celebrate the Musical World of Coco. It's too long of a...
They need this. This show takes the award for the longest name
I think
of any
so.
show.
And like we'll just call it the Coco Show. And so it's similar to what it was, but not quite, right? So
It's a little bit different as far as the songs and the performers, but then you do have some of your favorite performers have returned.
and so it's the familiar songs, and you can see a lot of if you've seen it before, there's some familiarity with it, and then also you have McGill as a puppet.
Right. Right.
With a puppeteer.
And this is official B-roll we're watching, but the funny thing is I was actually there for the recording of this. I was standing to the right. So I will link to this, to the full show at the end of our show, and you can check it out and kind of compare and contrast to the previous version.
And I did not see this. I was off doing something else. Like we did do a little divide and conquer because Oogie Boogie Bash took a lot of our time of the week. So, we wanted to kind of do everything.
Then the show we just saw only started on the very last day. This is new this year. Mickey's Trick and Treat is included with the day guests. It used to be a Oogie Boogie Bash exclusive.
Until last year. So this is totally new. You still have like a piece of candy given out at the end.
Yeah, for kids only.
And so to talk about the show, you went to see it this time.
Right, the show hasn't really changed. It's a very fun show. I think a lot of the theme of the show is getting candy, and it's perfect for this. And it's also, the theme is telling a Halloween story, and Mickey and Minnie were telling their story, a very scary story, but Mickey wants to tell a scary story, but Minnie keeps making it like not scary, fun, talking about flowers and everything. So it's just a typical show, classic Halloween show, and you have Goofy there as a mummy and Donald as a werewolf. I love the different costumes. I would love to meet the characters in these costumes. That would be really awesome. And then there's a special surprise coming up in the next scene where Mickey and Minnie are going to appear as ghosts, and they're about to come out as ghosts, and nobody is tricked by who is out here.
So, you don't think so?
No, I don't think these costumes are fooling anybody, but I think they're very adorable. And again, wouldn't it be nice to get a picture with this cast someday?
Well, maybe someday they'll do that. I don't know if they will.
And you remember the show from past years pretty much?
Well, I mean, I didn't remember it as much. Like if I haven't seen it in a year, I'm not really thinking about it because I only see it up to once a year. That's the most.
One thing about this show is they make everybody sit on the floor. Unless you get there very early, there are seats in the back for anybody.
Like benches.
Right, benches. So I would recommend, if you aren't into sitting on the floor or getting up from the floor, which is the worst part, to arrive early and try to grab a prime bench location.
And I know, like, we did that last year when we were at Oogie Boogie Bash.
And
Give me some of that candy. I want candy.
So you remember that song.
Yeah, of course. Well, I'm reading it off the screen, but I do remember... they sing about candy.
But I do think this is very nice that it's included with the with the regular day guest. So there's just so much to see and do for Halloween at both parks, included in your regular ticket for Halloween time.
And I think this is where Dr. Doofenshmirtz is.
It is. Indeed it is.
Yeah, in the Oogie Boogie Bash. So that's where he is. So, he's taking the place of the Mickey's Trick and Treat.
So now let's take a walk over to Disney's Grand Californian Resort.
And this is the hag. Evil Queen is the hag. It's like I call it a chocolate display, even though you can see it's not just chocolate. And there's also 13 hidden Mickeys, which are not that easy to find in here. And it's going to be a spoiler.
Some of them were very difficult.
We're going to show some of them, but we did not find all of them. It was not so easy because you're thinking they're going to look a certain way. Like at Walt Disney World, they'll put them in little Mickeys, but it's totally different.
There's one on the rock right down there. I guess people can't see me pointing, but if you look to your left, there is a rock and it has a Mickey on it.
And I think this is just one of the most amazing displays. You can even see, like, look at her fingernails. Like, they're so sharp. And then, she's holding that apple. You've got a raven up here. They really just outdid themselves. And even when you look at the leaves, they look like they are like chocolate or the fondant.
I see those beautiful, nice leaves there. And one thing I can't convey is it smells so good in there. Really, really nice.
And here the trees are scary looking. She's holding up the apple above like that bubbling cauldron.
And the trees remind me of the attraction. I did get to ride that a couple times. So I always love that scene where you go through the forest and you see the trees moving.
And it's Snow White, right? So even if, you need to go to the back if you're looking for the hidden Mickeys, because there's some hidden Mickeys back here as well. And Jeff noticed that.
Right.
So I'm not sure how many you're showing here. I think I showed probably about 5 or 6 of them in my article.
I tried not to spoil it too much. So if you want to get a little clue of it, go to Denise's article. We'll link to that in the show notes. And that is it. That is all we're going to show. There's so much more for Halloween time. We can't show it all in the time constraint of our show.
But that was a good amount of it. There's a lot to see and do for Disneyland at Halloween. I just think, if you're going to go to a Disney park, we're going to do Disneyland Paris because we love it also. But just for Halloween,
it's hard to beat Disneyland Resort, including downtown Disney. There's quite a bit at downtown Disney, a scavenger hunt and all this. I mean, we're thinking of going back to seeing a little more of Halloween. I mean, even though we were there twice, I don't know if we got enough of Halloween.
Well, the first time was D23. We just saw a little bit of decorations being installed.
Just a tiny taste of it.
We were there once for a week for Halloween, but, the Oogie Boogie Bash just took up quite a bit of our time.
Right, because the next day you're tired, so it's hard to have that energy to be rope dropping the first...
well, you're not rope. Right. We're not rope dropping.
Not us, but some people might.
Yes. But anyway, it would be nice to head back. We actually have it booked. I don't know 100% that we're going to do it.
It all depends. It all depends.
But right now we're looking toward Paris. And we do love Disneyland Paris for Halloween as well.
To see what Paris has in store to bring in Halloween at Disneyland Paris.
Well, we usually know, though.
Our third Halloween. Well, yeah, it's probably very similar, but we'll see. They could surprise us.
We have been to Disneyland Paris many times for the Halloween season. Originally, it sounded like they were going to have a new parade, but they're not. It will be the same parade. I don't know that there'll be any changes to it. I don't know if they're going to have a lot of differences for Halloween, but we enjoy it. And the weather looks so far like it will be cool and really autumn.
I'm very curious to see what Disney Village is going to dig up, because that's always some unique entertainment over there. So I look forward to seeing if and what that will be.
And at the same time to see the construction in progress. The planet Hollywood globe is going to come down
any day now. That's going to disappear, I think.
We're going to check out the Frozen construction. We're going to check out
Phantom Manor.
Of course, we're going to ride Phantom Manor because that's like a favorite, right? Yes. So, but I'm looking forward to it. I love going over to Disneyland Paris, and we'll spend a night in Paris as well, and a night at the Disneyland Hotel, which we did in January, and so it should be a good
a lot of excitement. But before that, we'll have more from Walt Disney World. Back to Disney World next week. We still have to do a little bit more with the Epcot International Food and Wine Festival. We've already been once for just a few hours, and we look forward to going again this week and talking about some of the treats there and some of the other activities. We also went over to Disney's Animal Kingdom. We'll talk a bit about that. So we do have some Walt Disney World stuff coming up for next week.
So yeah, it should be... We're doing a lot.
So thanks again for listening. Have a great week. Oh, let's not forget our sponsor, MEI Travel and Mouse Fan Travel, the most important part.
Check out MEI and Mouse Fan Travel. We're talking all about, Walt Disney World and then Halloween everywhere else. But whether you're going to go to, if you want to go to Disneyland Halloween, which we really recommend, or Halloween on the High Seas, or Disneyland Paris, or anywhere.
Or Christmas.
or Christmas.
Christmas is right around the corner.
Or Universal Studios.
We were just at Costco. Full Christmas.
Yeah, I know. It's and really the Disney store now has a lot of, not a lot of Christmas merchandise, but they really just kind of started, and there's going to be a lot coming out this month.
But definitely check out MEI and Mouse Fan Travel, especially for Christmas. Not too late for Christmas holidays.
But also Halloween.
Well,
There's
that's
still
true.
Halloween, especially at Disneyland, and maybe the Disney Cruise Line is still available.
So thanks again for listening. Have a great week. Happy Halloween, and we'll see you all next week.
Have a great week.